It's now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Goldberg unhappy with WWE, the WWE PLE is officially a flop, Hulk Hogan's new venture is a failure, WWE buying TNA, why John Cena has disappeared, Rhea Ripley angry at fans, a WWE teasing an AJ Lee return, WWE bans Jake Paul, and much more. Now, first story looks at Goldberg unhappy with WWE. Now, our top story today takes a look at a new interview from Goldberg, and Goldberg has taken issue with how WWE have presented the spear. Speaking with Shaq Wrestling, the WWE Hall of Famer states that he agrees with The Undertaker and that the only wrestler that should be using the spear is Bron Breakker. Additionally, Goldberg would state that everyone was given the spear in WWE to downplay his original move.
1,000%, and I saw that interview, number one. Number two, it's pretty funny that interview came up when I'm retiring, and it didn't have anything to do with me, because, let's just talk about the reason why everybody started doing the spear at the WWE. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out, right? I mean, let's be perfectly honest. They did it to make mine look bad, or, to downplay mine.
Goldberg would then state that he had a conversation with Breakker backstage at Raw, and he told him directly that he's the only wrestler who should be using the iconic move.
And I had the conversation last night with Bron, and I told him my feelings on it. And I think 1,000% he's the only human being in the WWE that should be doing that. I know I'm going to catch a lot of hell from that, but I don't care, because that's the truth. I mean, it is what it is.
There are numerous wrestlers within WWE who currently use the move, most notably Roman Reigns. Reigns will no doubt have an issue with abandoning the finishing move he's used for the past 13 years, and it's only inevitable that Goldberg's comments lead to significant discourse on social media of who really has the rights to use the move. Do you think Bron Breakker should be the only wrestler to use the spear in WWE? Next up, a WWE PLE is officially a flop. Now, it's been well documented that Evolution 2 has struggled to move tickets. Expensive tickets combined with a non-existent build has been a recipe for disaster for WWE, and really they only have themselves to blame. The WWE are now actively upgrading people's tickets for the show, which means that they are concerned with how the show is going to look on television, and they'll need to make sure it looks somewhat full, when in reality, the arena is going to be more than half empty. WWE having half-empty arenas is pretty much a thing of the past and is mostly associated with the 2017 to 2019 period of WWE. Just remember stomping grounds, so hopefully we're not back to a trend of WWE struggling to sell tickets. Due to how poorly the event has done in terms of ticket sales, there's likely zero chance that WWE delivers a third installment of the show. It's done. Even if the show receives critical acclaim, which could definitely happen as the card is pretty good, it still may not be enough for WWE and TKO to authorize another show. Now, it's worth noting that the Saturday night's main event, which will take place in the exact same arena, has sold over 10,000 tickets for this show compared to Evolution's 4,800. SNME similarly has a poor build, yet with top stars featured such as Gunther, Goldberg, and Randy Orton, there are huge attractions present, so there is obvious interest in attending the show itself. We do feel that this will probably be the last all-women's pay-per-view that WWE ever holds again. Next up, Hulk Hogan's new venture is a failure. Speaking of major flops, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff's new venture, American Freestyle Wrestling, is struggling hard to sell tickets for their initial show. Now, according to WrestleTix, the show hasn't even sold 500 tickets. Seeing as the arena is set up for around 4,000, this is a colossal failure. This is even with ticket prices only going for about $30. Next up is WWE buying TNA, and there's speculation that TKO could be purchasing TNA. According to the Wrestling Observer Radio, Carlos Silva, who's the president for TNA, has stated that Anthem Sports, who currently owns TNA, is currently profitable, and according to the Observer, this could lead to them selling to TKO. Carlos Silva has been doing a lot of media this week because they're trying to promote the July 20th TNA show, and he talked a lot about the company's future. He said that they're looking to land a media rights deal in the next 60 to 90 days, and their goal is to get around $10 million per year. He also acknowledged that Anthem Sports is not currently profitable and suggested it could be spun off from Anthem Entertainment and sold either alone or with other assets. This lines up with the JohnWallStreet.com article, which outright stated that there's speculation TNA could eventually be sold to the TKO group, and that is something I'd heard was at least discussed when the TNA WWE talent sharing relationship began earlier this year. They would reiterate that TKO purchasing TNA is a serious and viable option for both parties. Next up, WWE going all in on Bron Breakker. Now, apart from Bron Breakker's Ross-like tan, WWE are evidently setting up Bron Breakker to be a future face of WWE, and they're even marketing him as such. In a recent highlights video for this week's Raw, they've used the question "Face of Raw" for the thumbnail. The idea is reportedly that Breakker will eventually turn on Seth Rollins, but for this to work well, it needs to be built up effectively. Fans have drawn comparison to the Batista split from Triple H in Evolution, but this was a storyline that was built up for over 2 years. WWE moving forward with the Breakker and Rollins split after just 3 months would be a bad move, as fans have yet to build up that connection between the two as an alliance. Next up, why John Cena has disappeared. John Cena has disappeared from WWE television since Night of Champions, but even though we can't see him, we now know where he is. It's been revealed that Cena is filming a new movie titled Little Brother, and this makes any WWE appearances this month extremely difficult. In relation to when Cena will be back on screens, he's currently advertised for next week's SmackDown, as well as the Go Home SmackDown before SummerSlam. Fans have been quick to point out that yet again, Cody Rhodes is going to be forced to build a top program all on his own. Rhodes has made a habit of working top programs with part-time talent and making it work, and this is one of the reasons why WWE is so comfortable with having Rhodes in such an elite position in the company. Next up, PENTA getting a world title match. The WWE are continuing to push PENTA right up the card as they've officially confirmed that he will be receiving a world title shot. For next week's live event in Texas, PENTA will collide with Gunther in the main event. This is a massive opportunity for PENTA. Whilst it's only a live event, traditionally live events are used to test out matches that WWE want to book in the foreseeable future. WWE Vault, you've got one job. Next up, a WWE star calls out double standards. Now, a WWE star has called out the double standards that exist in WWE. Charlotte Flair wrote in the Players Tribune, and she stated that there's definitely issues with ageism within pro wrestling, specifically WWE. I'm 39, but as a female wrestler who's pushing 40, I promise you there are people in this industry who already consider me old. Never mind that I'm literally younger than Cody, who is considered the face of the company, and Roman, who's probably our biggest star. Never mind that CM Punk, who I'm 7 years younger than, main evented Night 1 of Mania, and John Cena, who I'm 9 years younger than, main evented Night 2. Flair continued by saying that aging out doesn't exist for the men in WWE. Never mind that we live in an era when athletes are extending their primes for longer than ever. For men, I say this with so much respect for the guys I just mentioned, there's no such thing as aging out. For women though, the rules are just different. For women, as depressing as it sounds, I think a lot of people still only know one way to value them, as young and disposable. Flair is spot on with this assessment. A lot of fans have an issue with tenured women being in prominent spots, but don't take issue when the male wrestlers over 40 are in the main event picture. Maybe there's only one exception, that being Trish Stratus, but Flair has received a ton of support for this take, including from Punk himself, who shared the story on his Instagram feed. Next up, Rhea Ripley angry with fans. Now, it's no surprise after many incidents regarding stalking and creepy behavior, Rhea Ripley has made a very bold statement in regards to fans sending fan mail to her personal address. In a recent post on X, she mentioned, "Fan mail sent directly to my house will not be opened, it'll be thrown out." Now, Rhea Ripley even shared a recent story on Chris Van Fleet on how a stalker went to their home with fan mail. They saw a woman through their Ring camera who kept pressing their doorbell with the fan mail. At this point, Rhea Ripley has a very big point. With how fans have behaved at airports, Rhea Ripley is very much within her own right of suggesting that this is not on. However, some fans don't agree and feel like they have to say unnecessarily rude comments about her. This is strictly a privacy issue, not anything to do with a booking. Next up, a singer wrestling at SummerSlam. It was announced last week that Jelly Roll will be on SmackDown this week, and now it's been reported by PW Insider that Jelly Roll has been training for a match and will indeed be wrestling at SummerSlam. Singer and actor Jelly Roll has been training to make his WWE in-ring debut and will do so at SummerSlam, PWInsider.com can confirm. Jelly Roll will be at tomorrow's Friday Night SmackDown to kick off the storyline, which we're told will see him align with the top babyface ahead of SummerSlam in East Rutherford, New Jersey this August. We have not confirmed the babyface, but when we asked if it was Cody Rhodes, we were told no. This means that Mr. Roll will be teaming up with a babyface in a tag team match against a heel tag team, and due to SmackDown having a plethora of villainous tag duos, WWE is spoilt for choice. Who do you think it will be though? Next up, are WWE teasing an AJ Lee return? Now, while WWE uploaded the story of AJ Lee to their Vault YouTube channel yesterday, naturally it has fans speculating on what the motive for this is. WWE rarely promotes uncontracted talent in this manner, and it's certainly interesting the timing with Evolution 2 just being days away. AJ returning at Evolution this weekend would be truly one of the most shocking returns of all time. AJ retired over a decade ago, and she's shown no interest in returning to WWE since. But with that being said, with her husband CM Punk being back in WWE full-time and having a great relationship with WWE management, the chances of her returning have never been higher. Whilst it will be wonderful to see her return, her returning in the Battle Royal may be seen as underwhelming by some, and a return of one of the most popular female stars of all time may be better saved for a future Royal Rumble. Next up, WWE bans Jake Paul. But Jake Paul firmly believes that he's been banned from WWE. During a conversation between Jake and his brother Logan Paul on a recent vlog, the two discussed Jake being banned, and it's apparently due to Jake having issues with Dana White. You've upset some of the people involved because you made an enemy out of Dana White. Oh, you have a diss track on him, buddy. Dana is now part of the TKO group because the TKO group now owns the UFC and the WWE. The TKO group, I think, is like an offshoot of WME, which is a Hollywood agency. William Morris Endeavor owned by Area Manual. I think there's still a little bit of static, but it's nothing we can't fix. Now, this is the first news to surface relating to Jake being banned, but it does make somewhat sense that TKO are uncomfortable having Jake around if he has bad blood with UFC President Dana White. And finally, Vince McMahon's new company reveals their new logo. Now, Final Story today takes a look at the latest news when it comes to Vince McMahon's new company. McMahon's new company will be called 14th and I, and the company has released an official logo. The official filing for McMahon's noted the trademark was for goods and services, specifically private equity fund investment services, financial services, namely management of private equity funds, private equity fund investment services, and financial portfolio management. This together with entertainment services, namely production and development of scripted television and digital programming. In relation to the name itself, it's a direct reference to the location of the Capital Wrestling Corporation, which was previously held by McMahon's father, Vince McMahon Sr.